Welcome to the Links Training and Support Keeping Kids Safe Online webinar. I'd like to acknowledge the original custodians, the Gandangara people, on whose land I'm recording this webinar. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and welcome all Aboriginal people viewing. In this webinar, we'll talk about online risks for kids in out-of-home care and strategies you can use to lessen these risks in your home. Constant advancements in technology allow kids to access the internet in more ways and at younger ages. This ease of access increases their exposure to potential harms. In this webinar, we'll discuss the risks for kids in out-of-home care and introduce some e-safety strategies to reduce their exposure to harm. We want to emphasise that while risks are present, carers can play a really important role in keeping kids safe. Let's start by looking at some of the dangers kids face online. Kids in out-of-home care can experience a range of risks relating to the online world. When kids spend time on social media, gaming platforms, and in chat rooms, they can be exposed to content and people who may cause them harm. The more frequently kids are online, the more likely they are to be exposed. This exposure can be particularly harmful to kids in out-of-home care who've experienced violence, abuse, and neglect. One of the key risks is viewing inappropriate content, either deliberately or accidentally. This includes violent or sexually graphic material and information or content that is not age appropriate. The younger kids are when they're exposed, the more significant harm can be. Another potential risk is exposure to people who cause harm. This can include being sent sexually explicit material, being asked to send nude images or information about their bodies, having conversations about sex, and being persuaded to meet up in person. Seeing harmful content and spending excessive time online can affect kids' mental health, resulting in anxiety, depression, and isolation from others. Social media representations of body image and relationships can also increase feelings of inadequacy or isolation for kids in out-of-home care. Cyberbullying may also occur through social media messaging apps and online games, resulting in emotional distress. Cyberbullying can follow kids into all environments where they access technology, removing a crucial sense of safety for kids in out-of-home care. These children may be more susceptible to cyberbullying due to difficulties with relationships, managing their emotional states, and a perceived lack of security. Immaturity and undeveloped critical thinking skills place kids at greater risk of sharing personal information online. This can make them more vulnerable to scams, identity theft, and people who mean to cause them harm. Kids may also share nude images or personal information without thinking about or understanding the negative consequences involved. Now that we've explored some of the key online risks, it's time to consider appropriate online safety measures. These strategies will help you to protect kids in out-of-home care. A range of strategies should be implemented in all households to help kids stay safe online. Some may already be familiar to you. Internet safety strategies must be tailored to kids' ages and abilities. There should always be a focus on skill and knowledge building. As kids get older, this ensures they become active participants in their own security. Internet safety strategies differ for kids over and under 11 years of age. This is because their levels of cognitive development, online behaviour, understanding of risks, and ability to take protective steps are different. For kids under 11, it's important to focus on supervision, parental controls, and rules for internet use. For those over 11, the focus should be on education, awareness, and critical thinking. Let's explore the elements of internet safety in more detail. It's important to develop internet and device usage rules with the kids you support. This ensures they are active participants in their own safety online. They're also more likely to understand why rules are in place and to follow them. Start by discussing how they access the internet and where they might be exposed to harm. This will help you determine the focus of your rules. They might cover reducing exposure to harmful material, ensuring respectful online behaviour, or balancing time online with other activities. Ensure you set clear, age-appropriate rules. Develop specific guidelines about what is and isn't allowed online, which may include time limits, device locations, permitted websites and apps, and guidelines from social media use. Be sure to regularly review your rules to ensure they remain relevant and effective. This should happen as kids grow older and technology access changes. Revisit and adjust rules as required. It can also be helpful to develop rewards and logical consequences with your kids linked to the rules that you've set. To be most effective, focus on rewarding good internet behaviour. Any consequence used should be connected to the behaviours you're targeting. This could include reducing the amount of screen time allowed if a child spends too long online, or increasing supervision of internet use if they've accessed content you restricted. You'll notice that we're talking about limiting rather than removing access. It's important to understand that allowing access to the internet enables social connections, access to education and support services for kids in out-of-home care. Don't forget that others in the house can also model good internet behaviour. Wherever possible, all household members should follow the rules and support kids to use the internet positively. Any rule or strategy will work more effectively when you can communicate well with your kids. A key part of this is developing a positive and trusting relationship with them. When kids trust the adults that support them, they feel safer and more able to communicate successes, worries, and concerns. But kids in out-of-home care often find it difficult to trust others because they've experienced so much trauma and adversity. Trust takes time to develop, but you can help by being consistent, honest, and open in your communication. It's important to talk openly about internet rules and usage and show your interest by asking curious questions about their online experiences, including anything they're worried or unsure about. It's important to ensure kids are well educated about online risks. Engage them in regular fact-based discussions about the online environment, including potential dangers and how to respond. Explain the difference between friends they meet online and in real life. Ensure that they understand the concept of strangers online and why they shouldn't communicate with people they don't know. This is especially important for younger kids. You can also teach kids the difference between personal and public information. Make sure they understand what information is safe to share and what could expose them to harm. This might include personal information like their full name, address, and details about their school. Discuss the permanence of their online posts, including any images or information they share. It's vital that kids understand once something has been shared, they no longer have control over it. During these discussions, kids may disclose something distressing or unwelcome that's happened to them online. If this happens, stay calm and provide support. Reassure them that they're not in trouble and won't be punished, so they feel safer coming to you in the future. It's important that you support kids to develop responsible, respectful, and ethical online behaviour. This includes treating people online as they would face-to-face and thinking before they post. Educate kids about appropriate digital behaviours, including being polite and respectful in online interactions and valuing others' opinions, even when they differ from their own. Children also benefit from understanding the impact of their digital footprint. It's vital they understand that their online actions can have long-term impacts on things like relationships, education, and employment opportunities. You can model positive online behaviour through your own actions and interactions. Show them how to use their online presence to contribute positively. This might be through sharing helpful information, supporting causes, or creating uplifting content. It's important to focus on what kids should be doing online and the behaviours that you expect. This shows them what to do rather than what not to do and helps them make good decisions independently as they get older. Parental controls are another effective way to protect kids from potential harm online. Different parental controls will work best in different households. It's important to explain your reason for setting controls and involve kids in establishing them. Also ensure that you're consistently monitoring their online activity and immediately discuss any issues or concerns as they arise. The restriction settings you use should be based on age and needs. They should be reviewed regularly and updated as kids grow and gain more independence. For kids under 11, parental controls should be more restrictive to reduce the likelihood of access to inappropriate material. This may include supervising access, using content controls to block access to inappropriate websites and apps, using monitoring tools that track online activity, and limiting features like data connectivity. You should also review apps, websites, and games and follow suggested age ratings. For kids over 11, you should gradually allow more independence while reducing monitoring as they mature. It can be useful to set screen time limits to ensure balanced use and restrict when and where devices can be used. Adolescents should be more in charge of their own online safety, encourage responsible and mindful use of technology, teach them about privacy settings and data protection, and maintain open communication about their online experiences. Remember, each child is different, so it's important to adjust age-based guidelines to match their maturity and needs. By the time kids leave care, they should be able to safely navigate the online world, limit their own usage, and maintain privacy. Supervision is a vital part of ensuring online safety. You must monitor online activity for kids under 11. After this, you should decrease direct supervision and increase independence as kids build their own internet safety skills. The easiest way to monitor internet usage is to keep all internet-enabled devices in a common area of the house. You should also only allow internet access at times when an adult can actively supervise and preferably see the computer or device screen. You may also supervise by regularly checking browser history and the apps kids have access to. This is a helpful strategy when giving older kids more independence over device use. To help kids stay safe from online harm, it's vital to build these critical thinking skills. These skills help them effectively analyse information, problem solve, and make good decisions. Critical thinking helps kids understand and manage online risks. To build critical thinking skills, start by building their curiosity. Encourage them to ask you questions about the world around them and ask them open questions about different topics. Use things you watch or read to inspire topics of conversation. Kids should also be able to accurately analyse and evaluate information. Help them understand the importance of checking facts and the credibility of sources. Encourage them to examine and cross-reference information using multiple sources. A key skill in critical thinking is problem solving. It's important to help kids identify issues and work through problem solving steps while not providing them with the answers. Encourage them to reflect on their experiences and decisions and think about what they could do differently next time. You can also support kids to develop critical thinking through modelling. Talk through your thought process when making decisions or solving problems. Demonstrate the skills you use, like considering the pros and cons of a decision. Critical thinking skills can help kids independently navigate the online environment safely. Thank you for viewing this webinar on e-safety. Remember, e-safety is not just about avoiding risks, it's also focused on building kids' ability to identify and manage risks independently. Thank you.